All right, man. What do you got?
All right, so I just have one rec. It is a series that was on FX.
Mm-hmm.
It Justified.
Oh yeah.
I just recently started getting back into it, rewatching everything. I have never finished the series, but when I came into it, I think it was at the probably the end of its series.
Mm-hmm.
I never finished it, but it was really interesting to me, and I have Amazon Prime now, and I can watch all of them without commercials.
To me, that always felt like they more a serious version of Walker Texas Ranger.
Yeah,
Right.
pretty much.
That's what they're doing, right?
Yeah, because he's kind of just some badass who just walks around
and he's a ranger.
He's
right?
he's a marshal.
Oh, that's right, U.S. Marshal.
And he kind of just every episode is basically just figuring out this a case that's going on, and he's just blowing away the bad guys.
Which is also what Texas.
Yeah, that's what he would do. There's a underlying theme or a story that goes throughout every episode, but each episode is usually a different case that he's working. But yeah, check it out. It's fun. Justified on. You can watch it on Amazon Prime.
Nice. Oh, yes. They got it. The whole series.
The whole series.
Nice.
Everything. No commercials.
Just one.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. All right. So my first one is going to be another coming of age film, since that's the theme for the show today or tonight. So I want to do Perks of Being a Wallflower.
Oh, I have not seen that one.
You haven't seen that one either?
I heard it's pretty good.
Oh, you got to check it out, man. Is it?
Ezra Miller's in that.
Yeah.
And so
is it streaming somewhere?
I know it used to be on.
Might be on Netflix.
It used to be on Netflix. I remember seeing it.
It's got an 86 on Rotten.
Okay.
It's starring Logan Lerman of Fury, Ezra Miller of Justice League, and Emma Watson of Harry Potter.
Yeah.
Which also just is celebrating a anniversary, right? 25 years?
25 years, that's insane.
Of Harry Potter. Not that I'm a fan of that, sorry.
Shots fired.
But yeah, Perks of Being a Wallflower is awesome. I recommend checking it out. You could probably rent it for a couple $. If it's not streaming somewhere, check that out. It's got a beautiful soundtrack. It's based on a awesome book. It's basically about a young teenager. Mm-hmm. He's kind of coming from a broken home, and he has social anxiety because of that, and he kind of befriends these two kind of weird kids that see something special in him, and they kind of open his eyes to this whole new world. As he becomes accepted by them, he kind of becomes accepted by everybody. And it's a great film.
Nice.
Much like the one we're about to talk about later.
Oh yeah.
And my second pick is Hulu's original Castle Rock.
Ah, okay.
Because I didn't recommend this one yet. We talked about it, but I didn't recommend it yet. It's got a 79, currently on Rotten, and it's set in Stephen King's multiverse.
Okay.
I guess the overall story is basically we find out that there's this young kid that's been kept prisoner in the kind of the pits of this prison, which is this famous Shawshank prison, actually. And they finally figure out that he's down there, and they bring him up, and he starts affecting all of these different characters in multiple ways. And I can't really get into any more details without ruining things. I know they're going, I think it's new episodes every Wednesday on Hulu, instead of they're leaving us wanting more.
I like how Hulu does that.
Yeah,
I did that with when I watched the James Franco miniseries, the one with JFK assassination.
Oh yeah,
it travels through time.
It's the
11, 24,
63,
63, 73, something like that.
Whenever his assassination.
Yeah, sorry.
The number. But yeah, they're on episode 5, I think it is now.
Okay.
It just came out every Wednesday. It's getting really good. It's who's in it? It's got Bill Skarsgård, who is a.k.a. Pennywise, Jane Levy of Evil Dead, Sissy Spacek of Carrie, the original Carrie, Andre Holland, Melanie Linsky, and Scott Glenn.
Nice.
So there's definitely some big names in there. Check it out. It's called Castle Rock.
I actually, now that you mentioned that, I kind of have a rec for an extra rec for some people to check out.
Yeah, go ahead.
I had bought Dark Tower a while ago, and it's also a Stephen King. It's based on a Stephen King book.
The Matthew McConaughey
and Idris Elba. Yeah. That one, I can understand why it wasn't hugely successful, because it doesn't really feel so much like a Stephen King movie, or a movie based off of a Stephen King book, because it's not so dark like other ones are usually.
And they changed a lot of stuff. From the book.
That's what I hear. I've never read the book or anything, but the movie was pretty good. It's cool seeing Matthew McConaughey as a villain, because you don't really get to see him play that type of character, and it was just really it was cool to kind of jump into that world. It was pretty crazy.
I'm guilty of I didn't check that one out because I heard so much disastrous stuff about it.
There was so much high hopes for that too, because they were even planning a TV series, and Idris Elba was supposed to star in that.
Yeah, I remember that.
Reprise his role as the gunslinger, but it kind of flopped in the theaters and got horrible reviews. But yeah, I enjoyed it.
Cool.
It's a good time. Just go in there. Don't expect huge things, I guess. If you haven't seen it, you probably don't expect great things from it, because
keep the bar low.
Just like I went in going to see. Went in watching it thinking, this movie got tons of shit. It's probably not going to be great. But when I watched it, I was like, oh, it wasn't that bad. It wasn't as it wasn't as bad as people said it was. I don't know if my bar was just set low from hearing everything that people said.
Well, that was in the midst of this resurgence of Stephen King.
Yeah.
So I just think that it was the weakest link of everything that was either in development or coming out around that time. You know what I mean? It just had too much weight on its shoulders.
Yeah.
And like I said, I think it comes down to them changing too much stuff from the source material.
Yeah.
Where it was supposed to be more about Idris's character, and they focuses more on the kid.
Yeah, it's the main character. You follow the kid throughout the whole time
instead of everyone and the other bigger characters.
Yeah. The kid, he's a good actor in that too. He's not just some random kid, I guess.
He's not Last Action Hero.
No, he's got some pretty good chops. What else? It's pretty cool. The main thing I liked about that movie was a lot of Easter eggs and things, nods to Stephen King's other movies.
Yeah,
they show. Right. There's a picture of the hotel from The Shining, and there's a little.
There's a Pennywise reference too, right?
There's a rundown carnival, and there's a big old broken down neon sign that says Pennywise on it from a.
That's exactly what they do in Castle Rock, because there's this scene in one of the later episodes where, so one of the main characters, he has he goes back home, right, to Maryland, and he's kind of visiting his mom, and his mom is seeing one of the deputies or something in the and she has what they call sundowning, that syndrome where you're basically going crazy, like what the lady has in The Visit.
Okay.
The older lady, where they can't really do much at night. They kind of freak out.
Yeah.
And so they make a Pet Cemetery reference where they took care of this dog, this stray dog, right, for a while, and it got hit by a car, and they buried him in the backyard. And for some reason, she had it in her mind that night that he was going through the trash, and he had come back from the dead. And so she has the deputy go out and dig up the remains to make sure it's still dead.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, that is awesome.
Yeah, that's cool.
Because everything is interconnected, but they're not. If you don't know these other stories, that would have completely flown over your head. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, there was also a cool thing in the Dark Tower. There's these two twin girls playing like patty cake or whatever. I don't know. Like, and they're saying, "Come play with us, come play with us," and it was really cool. I was like, "Whoa, that's insane!" But yeah, it was just pretty cool to see a whole bunch of little nods or Easter eggs to the huge library of Stephen King novels.
That's right.
Yeah, so check that out too if you have the time, if you want to.
Cool. So moves us into our next segment.
Yes.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
And now for the movie focus of the week.
All right, as we said at the top of the episode, we are talking about The Edge of 17. It's rated R. It came out in 2016. It's a drama/comedy. It runs at 1 hour and 45 minutes, and it's got a solid 95.
Oh, nice. Okay.
On Rotten. So it's about Nadine, a high school junior, thinks the world's going to end after her all-star popular kid brother starts dating her best friend. Throw in a failed love interest and a missing father figure, and you've got a recipe for a perfect coming-of-age flick.
Oh, nice. Wrote that yourself, did you?
I did.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you.
Yes.
It's starring Woody Harrelson, Hailee Steinfeld, Haley Lou Richardson, Blake Jenner, Kira Sedgwick, and Hayden Seatstu.
Okay.
It's directed and written by Kelly Freeman Craig.
Okay, nice.
So, did you like the film, sir?
Yeah, it was awesome. I had never seen this movie. I had always wanted to go see it when it came out in theaters.
So you had heard about it?
Yeah, I just had never, like most movies that come out, I'd never have the time to see them until they're out on Blu-ray or DVD or whatever, or on Netflix or what have you. But yeah, this movie was really good. I was caught myself laughing quite a bit.
Yeah,
throughout the movie. There's a lot of depressing moments for this girl Nadine, where you really feel for her, how she kind of just feels out of the loop with everybody. And I think that's how a lot of people feel, a lot of kids feel in high school. It's a really good kind of teen angst type of movie, where you never really feel kind of in a specific group. You're kind of just always by yourself. She has one friend that she's had since the second grade, and she kind of loses her friend after her brother and her kind of hook up.
That's right.
And everything kind of really starts to fall apart after that. But yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed the movie.
Nice, man. I'm glad.
Yes.
So before we start kind of dissecting everything,
Okay.
Let's give the listeners a little spoiler alert.
Yes.
So yeah, we've been trying out this new thing where we kind of pick apart all the big plot points for these movies. Usually they're older, so we get away with it. But this is kind of a more recent film.
Semi-new.
So if you want to watch it, without knowing everything that happens, first we recommend you go and rent it digitally or even pick it up. It's worth it.
Yeah,
it's
definitely.
Definitely, I think, a perfect film. It's a lot better than a lot of other stuff. This film to me gets everything right because it doesn't. It's a PG-13 movie that was made to be rated R, and you can feel that throughout the entire thing. And so they don't think, oh, we need to slap this with a PG-13 film because it's about predominantly about high schoolers. No, because high schoolers still talk, bad.
Oh yeah.
Or they do everything adults do, but they're not supposed to.
Yeah.
And that's the way that this film was shot, and that's why I think it rings so true to people, because it doesn't sugarcoat things. It gives it to you raw, and it kind of sometimes it kind of slaps you over the face with how real it actually does feel. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's why I think this is if you want a coming of age movie, this is the perfect one to check out. It's a solid 10 for me, man.
Oh yeah, couldn't agree more.
But anyways, that's our spoiler alert.
Yeah. So pause this and go watch the movie if you haven't.
That's right.
Yeah.
But as